Joe Tate isn't just the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Indians announcer who started each game with the "It's a beautiful day for baseball." To friends and fans alike, this Hall of Fame broadcaster is simply Joe. He's just one of us. And now we have a play-by-play recap of Joe's sports announcer life, thanks to his new book, Joe Tate, It's Been a Real Ball, written with his friend and colleague, sports writer Terry Pluto. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lori.
To talk about your book. So, it would, I think, be an understatement to say that you always loved sports, but I think a lot of folks will be surprised that you always loved announcing as well, even as a kid. So how did that come about?
Well, I did a lot of one-man broadcasts of Jim Prentice baseball and all-star football, and even played some one-man football games out in my backyard with a rather intricate set of rules to which I applied play-by-play.
And you applied the play-by-play. And you had friends that you would work with as well?
Oh yeah, a buddy of mine and I used to go up to Wing Park in Elgin, Illinois, and sit out in the corner of the bleachers, and the Elgin Builders, which was a semi-pro team, played up there. And we'd do the play-by-play, and then on the way home we would critique each other.
Okay, you did critique each other.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That must have been difficult to hear sometimes. And finally, you got to be a real broadcaster, but it wasn't easy at the beginning, was it? You had to take a pay cut, I understand?
Well, I was a real janitor before I was a real broadcaster, and one led to the other, and then, yeah, at times you did take pay cuts to move to what you thought would be a better job, including coming to Cleveland, where I had been working in Terre Haute, Indiana, and when I came to the Cavaliers, I went from $10,000 a year down to $7,400 a year.
My, that's a big cut.
Yes, well,
it
was the right move to make.
So how did you get the in to the Cavaliers?
Bill Fitch was the first coach. I'd known Bill for many, many years, and he knew of my work. And in fact, he used to kid me of the fact that I could make a losing football team sound like a 6-6 tie when they're losing 66-0. And he knew he was about to coach probably the worst basketball team in NBA history, and they were. And so he suggested to Nick Maletti that I be the one they hire to do the play-by-play, and I passed muster and have been here more or less ever since.
Okay, we kind of all started out together. Ooh, there's a Cavaliers.
Oh, that's frightening. That jersey and trousers belonged to Rick Roberson, the Cavaliers starting center, and Rick let me wear them for a Halloween party and then accused me of stretching them and said they didn't fit right when I gave them back.
All right, and when Nick Maletti hired you with a pay cut, he promised he'd make it up to you. Is that how he did that, by becoming the voice of the Cleveland Indians?
Lori, that's true. When he got the Indians, he called me up and said, now I'm going to make it up to you. You are now the voice of the Cleveland Indians. And I went to work with Herb Score. You see us up there in the booth at the old stadium. And Herb Score was a great teacher and a good broadcast partner. I had 7 really delightful years with Herb.
Okay, and a lot of catchphrases came out of all this broadcasting.
Yeah, I don't know where they come from either. I think, and I think any announcer would tell you this, if you sit around and try to dream them up beforehand, and when you use the predetermined catchphrases, they fall flat.
Oh, okay.
They have to come from just spur of the moment. And the one
from your emotions, from
yeah,
your gut
a lot of
when it's
people
happening.
remember when Craig Elo beat Utah on December 23rd with a 3-pointer at the buzzer. I said, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus, and he comes from Lubbock, Texas. I have no idea why I said it.
Inspiration.
It just came, yeah.
All right. Well, the book is so great. It's got a lot of these stories. It's got also a lot of fans who wrote in to tell them how much they thought that you added to everything.
Boy, look at that picture. That's back in the old days where that's Bill Nichols there next to me, and Austin Carr, and yeah, that was from the old days, I think, when we were at the Coliseum. And
if you're a fan, thank you so much for giving us this information, and if you're a fan of Cleveland sports, then you're a fan of Joe Tate. Don't miss reading Joe Tate. It's been a real ball, and it's been a ball having Joe join us here today.
Thank you very much, Lori. Thank you.
To learn more, call Gray & Company Publishers at 800-708-2819. or log on to www.graco.com.